My name is Maha Haidar. I'm the director of the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program at AUB, and I'm the focal point for the e-learning initiative from AUB. I've been learning a lot through the e-learning initiative, and I look forward to sharing our experience from AUB. Over to you, Rami.
Thank you. I'm currently the Director for Academic Services at the Office of Innovation and Transformation at AUB. For those who don't know AUB, it's a private, independent, non-sectarian institution founded in 1866, so that's 150 plus years old, chartered from the state of New York and governed by an independent board of trustees. There are 7 different faculties offering almost all disciplines, and the language of instruction is English. At AUB, I oversee the technology and digital transformation related to teaching, learning, and research. Back in October 2019, we took the big decision to go fully online with our MBA. Why? Together with nursing degrees, I remember these were identified as the 2 most degrees in demand. So it was driven by the market, and we took this decision. And to do this, of course, many activities had to happen, including the accreditation from New York State Education Department and from Middle States Department and from the Lebanese Ministry of Education. So the launch date for the MBA was set to be September 2020. And back then, we did have some instructional design capacity with 2 very qualified instructional designers. And we did have an established e-learning infrastructure through our learning management system that was Moodle, and the plagiarism and other tools and processes. We decided to outsource course content development due to the limited capacity that we have, and we selected one of the biggest companies in the States to do this for us. Now, in October 2019, my team and I went to ASU campus in Arizona. We spent a week to have a hands-on workshop on scaling up and scaling out digital learning from different perspectives, including systems, processes, content development, and human resources. The workshop was excellent, and we shared our vision, we shared our processes, our instructional design process, our content development process. All these were limited back then. Our system integrations, etc. We identified many gaps, and most importantly, we learned how ASU scaled up and how this university manages such a huge operation from marketing, recruitment, enrollment, all the way to course development and student coaching. We had a lot of takeaways, and we were ready to go back to Beirut and plan accordingly. But fate had a different plan. On the very same day that the team went back to Beirut, the street uprising started. All roads were blocked due to a revolution against the corruption of our government. The roadblocks led to the fact that students and faculty members couldn't reach the campus anymore. Now, education had to continue, leaving no student behind. We had to make sure every student can reach their courses and material outside the classroom. This led us to accelerate the efforts on the capacity building in our faculty members mainly, to be able to teach using technology. 5 months later came the pandemic, and with it came a specific case in Lebanon, which was a huge currency devaluation in our country. Now, at this rate, the outsourcing of course content development was no more an option. It wasn't a choice anymore, because what we used to pay, now we have to pay 15 times more. And we had to very quickly build internal capacity to develop all the online MBA courses in-house, 36 courses. This, in addition to supporting all the regular courses that's being taught due to the pandemic, taught with technology. And since then, we are working literally day and night to expand our expertise and to accelerate our course building, to streamline our instructional design processes, to build all the needed systems and processes to support this, and of course, to build a lot of high quality online courses. And that's how our scaling up journey began. Definitely, during this journey, it can get really messy. So we had to set up some guiding principles. The principles were basically ensuring, a very high quality courses that can be achieved by following quality rubrics. And now, after the MCF engagement, by the way, the high quality principle We got some inspiration on how the courses are built in this project, specifically the master course and specifically the Quality Matters rubric. And we're adding some items to the course templates to have it of even higher quality and establish better instructor presence in the courses. We need to maintain the university stature. We need to maintain high efficacy standards. And we need to make sure that students have a pleasant online experience, so don't get lost. And finally, we need to make sure that we are aligned with the values of the university in everything that we do. So these are the guiding principles for us, just to make sure that we don't deviate from our target. In order to scale, we did a quick assessment of where we are today and what our strengths, capabilities, opportunities, where are the weaknesses, the threats, etc. So we did kind of a SWOT analysis to see how we can scale up. We had to identify truly strategic partners, whether inside or outside AUB. And of course, we had to be critical on our cost structure. This was kind of a huge criteria for us, that we have to do things within specific scope because we're undergoing a huge economic crisis. This slide shows one of the important exercises that we were doing, which is basically laying out all the touch points for the online student journey. There are hundreds of touch points, by the way, huge touch points. A lot of activities that take place operating online degrees in order to ensure full student engagement and high student retention. So we identified the areas where we think we have huge gaps. So for example, we didn't have much content for the faculty development and capacity building. You know, this is one of the main pillars of main key success factors that we had, which is basically building a robust, self-paced faculty development program so that our faculty members can get onboarded and can get the support they need, you know, without really needing to look, knowing where exactly to go in order to be guided. And the second pillar is basically program development, which is where the core work happens: lecture design, learning objects design, instructional design, online learning development processes, etc. We had gaps in the video production. Marketing, we used to do activities there, so we identified what are the marketing activities, the marketing skills that we need to build up. Lead nurturing, also this never happened at AUB back in 2019. Lead email follow-up, lead nurturing, having phone calls to candidates, etc. Enrollment and tuition payment, also we need to have inside enroll lead conversations. We didn't have this before. Post-enrollment support, we are still until today lacking here. For example, live support, we don't provide this today yet. Web-based delivery platform, AI, chatbots, etc. We don't have these yet, but these are on the roadmap. And of course, program maintenance, which is content maintenance and program enhancement. So we have labeled the things that we think that we need help from the outside. And for the rest, we need to build more capacity. So the gray boxes are where we needed to build more expertise, and the clear items, the one that are not grayed out, are the items that we do have, but we need to scale up in them. My department, which is the academic services department, our mission is to strive to expand the AUB digital portfolio with more courses and programs. Basically, we strive to expand our digital portfolio. We strive to enhance our infrastructures and system and processes to support the online learning. And last but not least, we build capacity in our faculty members and in our staff members for the online education. One of the major key takeaways from our engagement here, helping building capacity in our faculty members. And this is a make it or break it key success factor for us, as I mentioned before. And I think this is kind of a make it or break it key success factor for any institution that wants to scale up in online education. So basically, we built and are still building a robust faculty development program for online education. And the program covers both the development of online courses as well as the facilitation of these courses. It encompasses a wide spectrum of topics, including things like best practices for instructional design, principles of pedagogy and online education, theory of adaptive learning, ADA, the Americans with Disability Act compliance. This is mainly for accessibility, establishing instructor presence. This is something that I personally learned a lot from this program, which is basically how to establish a strong instructor presence in online courses, especially when, you know, this online course is an asynchronous course, cohort-based asynchronous course. This is something that we are improving as we go. Things like facilitating online discussions, developing measurable learning outcomes, etc., etc. Anyway, so obviously the ASU master course in instructional design plays a great role in this continuous initiative. We've built short videos, bits of knowledge. We've conducted many workshops. We did several one-on-one trainings for faculty members to ensure that we onboard as many faculty members as possible to build a community that talks the same language. And all these material, by the way, are available online. If you search for AUB Teach Technology, you will find on the top, the first hit would be the page that is hosting all these videos, all these bits of knowledge. And here, if you click on this link that we have here, this shows us a quick look on one particular topic, which is the learning design and how we convey it to our faculty members. So this shows one particular topic, how we are kind of helping our faculty member understand the process of building the online course. What does it take? What's expected from them? What should they expect from us, etc., etc. Because once you have built this trust relationship and once you have set up the correct expectations, this is where the magic starts to happen. Because once the faculty members trust the process, they will provide material in the structure that we needed. They will provide the scripting that we will need, etc., etc. So this is for the faculty development program. Now for our current online courses, we have over 350 courses redesigned and developed with technology. So this includes basically both blended and fully online. The fully online segment of this is around 90 something fully online courses, and the rest are blended courses. We have 6 fully online diplomas. We have 1 blended degree, executive MBA. We have 4 fully online degrees, and currently in the pipeline, we have 9 programs in the pipeline. How we were able to build this capacity, basically we identified that, okay, we need to scale out mainly 2 expertise, the instructional design and the multimedia building. For the instructional design, the way we did it is that we started since then having people with us who are not instructional designers, because this is a very scarce skill. You can hardly find an instructional designer who is looking for a job. So what we did is that we looked for people with either computer science or educational background or both. And then we started having them shadow our instructional designers for a period of time, starting with the instructional technology and eventually taking courses on their own when they are confident enough. And for the multimedia, this is where we have built an online kit, and we started contracting Lebanese who mainly have graphic design backgrounds. So we looked in our fresh graduates, for example, and we advertised for contracts. These were 9 months contract for graphic designers, and we had our graphic designers get onboarded in a single week. They got trained on our tools, on Articulate Storyline, for example. They get trained on Camtasia for editing videos. They get trained on our selected tools, and then directly started working with the instructional designers to build the needed artifacts for the online courses. We switched our instructional design process from being a waterfall to being an agile one, also to be able to kind of get more and more courses for our instructional designers, because now we are offloading our instructional designers from doing a lot of work. For example, they used to do packaging, they don't anymore. They used to do some multimedia stuff, they don't anymore. We have looked at where are the bottlenecks that we have in the instructional design process and offloaded these to the multimedia team or to the instructional technology team. And that's how we were able, with limited number of instructional designers, to scale up the capacity of the instructional designers. The instructional designer used to design something like 9 courses per year, and today the number is like 20 or even more. And today we have 4 or 5 instructional designers who can actually take in this much of capacity. When it comes to quality assurance, to safeguard the quality of blended and online courses and to ensure the best learning experience for our students, the excellence in the course design is essential. And for this, we have designed the courses in coordination with following, let's say, 3-stage process with individual course evaluation at each end of the process. And this was basically developed after thorough research and benchmarking with international QA models, QM, Quality Matters being one of these. And as I said, we are enhancing this today, inspired by what we have seen in the masterclass and what ASU have shared with us when it comes to what are the quality rubric elements, for example, for establishing instructor presence or for making sure that there is enough student engagement inside the course, etc. Now, in order to be able to scale while not going down the hill, we have to make sure that we have one important component, which is defining and publishing a set of policies such as student identity verification and online education. And this policy is very important because it is required by accreditation agencies like the MSCHE, Middle States Consortium for Higher Education. Policies like course content ownership, because this, when you're going online, this becomes a little bit problematic. Who owns the course content? Is it the instructor? Is it the university? Is it a hybrid model, etc., etc.? Course quality assurance policy, because we need to make sure that no course will be labeled online until it passes the quality assurance rubric. Accessibility policies. And also we need to make sure that we are GDPR compliant, we are FERPA compliant in all the content that we have, which is basically, building capacity in everything that we have in our people, processes, and technologies. These are mainly the 3 elements that are critical, that are cornerstones in this process. So basically in the online education team, we have built capacity. We scaled out by hiring fresh grads with graphic design and computer background, onboarding them. We scaled up by building more instructional design expertise, capacity building projects with MIT, with ASU, with MasterCard Foundation, engaging in projects like this one to foster the IT culture in our faculty members as well. And in the processes, for example, we build capacity by defining and streamlining the processes, such as the student life cycle. And this is an exercise we did at ASU as well in 2019, which is basically drawing the student life cycle and then identifying the gaps, etc. Marketing, recruitment, enrollment processes, we had to define all these. Now in technologies, we invested and are still investing in integrations and learning tools and LMS plugins and proctoring tools. We engaged in projects like this one to learn about more tools we will start to onboard at AUB, which is basically inspired by what we have seen in this project. So basically in numbers, we have nearly 350 courses redesigned. We have extensive experience with new technologies. We've built robust quality assurance rubric for the online courses. We've built capacity in the people, processes, technologies. We have an adaptive online faculty development program. It's fully online. It's fully self-driven. We have like 500 faculty members onboarded, of course, at different scales. We have a set of e-learning policies. So basically, we are in a kind of a good place today. What we need to do is to kind of make sure that this is still controlled and that we can build even more and more capacity. So basically where we are headed today, first we need to finalize the online structure. We don't have yet the AUB online as an entity in the university, so we need to finalize this first. And then, of course, we need to improve the in-house capacity. We do have a very good capacity today, but we're looking to improve this even more. We need to streamline the approvals and budgeting for online programs. So how can we prioritize? How do we do the budgeting, what's the revenue model, etc., etc. We have a very aggressive target for the online student count by 2025. It's not even close or as aggressive as the ASU. We have like 25,000 students target by the end of 2025. And finally, to celebrate.